So without further ado, and because I see Patrick looking awesome already on the screen, I'm going to hand straight over to you, Patrick. This is your screen we're sharing. So I'll let you introduce yourself, have a great session, and I'll be there in the chat if anybody needs me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, that's very exciting to be there for the first edition of this amazing event crafted by a wonderful team. So my session will be an introduction session about the metaverse and especially Mesh for Teams, which is I think the metaverse for Microsoft in the coming month or year. So let's start. My name is Patrick Guimonet. I am based in Paris, near Paris, in Versailles, in fact. My job on a day-to-day basis is to be enterprise solution architect. So I help my customer to build some great solution to solve their business problem with Microsoft 365 toolset. I love to be speaker and organizer at such type of event. I am leading AMS community, which is a great community to follow if you want to see some cool events online or even in on premises. I would say nowadays we can do hybrid as well. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn. I have been awarded MVP. It's not 11 times, but now it's 12 times. I should upgrade the slide. And maybe the most important thing that you should know about me is that I love baguette. So that's very French topic. The bread is very important for us, especially baguette. So I love to ask a very important question on any session I present. Say, who are you? Use the attendees. So if you have access to the chat, feel free to say to us, to share with us, are you working mostly in IT or are you mostly working in a business? If you are in a company, okay, you are IT or business. If you are a consultant, you are probably mostly working with IT or business, or sometimes it's the job of the consultant to be the link between IT and business. Why this is important? Because on any Microsoft 365 project, I realize that the most important thing is to create some discussion between IT and business in order for IT to really well understand the business opportunity and the business needs, and for business to understand the technical challenge that IT can see. So on any project you might have in this area, definitely you should create a good discussion between these two parts of the company. So the agenda is very simple. First part will be what is Metaverse. Second part will be on Teams. What is Teams today and where Teams is going. And the third part is for which usage we will need or we will use Metaverse. So what is Metaverse? Metaverse, in a few words, is a new version of Internet. So this is the Metaverse with a big M. It's a way to rethink what we have already available on the Internet. So it's mostly associated to a single or several type of virtual space, virtual world. There is definitely a mix of virtual reality, augmented reality. We will have a slide on this, a few slides next in the few slides. But definitely a metaverse is in a very simple words, a network of 3D virtual worlds. And it's an important point on the last, the two last word is it's focused on social connection. So that's why there is at the very beginning a very deep link with Teams, because Teams, as you know, is a tool dedicated to social collaboration and communication in the company. So Metaverse is definitely a point that Teams should be able to address and will address definitely in the future. If you want to have the Microsoft vision of what is the Metaverse, I would highly recommend you this very short YouTube video. So it's 1 or 2 minutes, but it's very clear statement of what it is for Microsoft in the Microsoft world. So I will not go through it, but if you are interested, you can have a look on it, definitely. A metaverse is, in fact, this is my definition, is a digital space. So in the rest of the discussion, I will discuss of several digital space proposed by Microsoft. And a metaverse is inhabited by presentation of people and things. So basically, in a metaverse, you will be able to interact with people and with things. That's the two important part of the metaverse. So we are definitely in a space, virtual space and virtual world. So if we speak about virtuality, we should be able to understand what are the options in this world. The options are very clear. In fact, you have to mix the reality with the virtuality, and you should think about that as a continuum. In fact, mixed reality is a merge between real and virtual. So definitely you will get some part of the reality and some part of the virtuality. For example, in my avatar, and we'll detail a few minutes later how you can create such type of avatar. But in my avatar, you have a mix of my and of me. So it's a real me taken by the camera of my PC, and there is a second layer of interaction or a view of me, which is a more cartoon-oriented view of me. But definitely there is a mix between my reality and some virtuality in it. So that's definitely the important thing about mixed reality. It's a continuum between reality and virtuality, and we can think about it like that. If you go fully real on the left or fully virtual on the right, and between these two opposites, you have augmented reality, which is much more a lot of real and a few virtuality. And if you think about augmented virtuality, you have almost everything virtual, but a few parts of it coming from the reality. So this is the way we should think about virtuality and reality. So at some point, some space, some virtual space have more virtuality or more reality, and you can probably have to choose between both parts. The first demo I want to show you is SharePoint Spaces, which is it's one solution proposed by Microsoft, very easy to implement about virtuality and how to create a virtual space. So let me share the screen directly like that. Okay, so here should be able to see. Yes, I am in Teams in my browser. It works exactly the same in Teams in the desktop team version of Teams. I have some channels and usual team channels. And for example, I wanted here to create a virtual event on Teams. And in this tab, in this channel, general channel of our annual event, we have a special tab which is the event lobby. And here you can see that we have a real virtual 3D space created by SharePoint Spaces. And you can interact with, for example, some video in it. Maybe it can take a few seconds, but it should come. Okay, so here it is. You can definitely, so here in this example, you can definitely see that with SharePoint Spaces, you have created a virtual space, and you can interact with many objects like this beautiful rugby ball, or this. There is a beautiful bee here as well, and I can show you just under the all the aspect of the bee. So definitely you have a way with SharePoint Spaces to create some cool virtual space. But in this, there are some limitations as well. And in this type of environment, you can't put people. So you are the only people in the space, and you can't move. You are just in the middle of the scene, and you can make it rotating like that. But that's all you can do to interact with the scene of in this environment. So this is definitely an interesting intro to what can be done, but that's definitely just a first step. Let's go back to some slide. So I will reshare again with the slide. Let's go back to the slide like that. It should come back. Okay. Okay, it's coming. Is maybe a little bit easy, but it's coming again. Okay, so so first demo was about SharePoint Spaces and a typical example of how to create a virtual space with SharePoint Spaces. So let's go now with what is Teams, in fact, today. Teams is definitely a very important tool in the Microsoft 365 toolset. Probably, arguably, it's the most important tool. Why? Because this is the tool we can put in the hand of the end user, and we can use Teams as a way to connect every other tools and to give access to any other tools with, for example, the tab mechanism in Teams, which is very important to integrate almost anything into Teams. So nowadays, Teams is a tool that can be used for 3 usage. So it's one tool, but 3 main usage. The first one is communication. So with Teams, obviously, you can communicate with your coworkers, with your customers, with audio, video, meetings, and things like that. Second usage is about everything about collaboration. With Teams, in Teams, you can create some virtual space to collaborate with your coworkers or even your customers as well. And the third part or third usage of Teams is everything around integrating business process. So, and this is the the most important point. Microsoft is putting the big stress on it nowadays. It's you can use Teams as a platform for any business process and for employee experience as well. For example, if you think about the Viva suite, you can, as in this screenshot, even embed directly into Teams your intranet or any other tools. So this is a very interesting platform to embed any business process. Yes, Chirag will detail some more information about SharePoint Spaces in this session. So feel free to join if you are interested to know more about how to build some space in SharePoint Spaces. Here we have a screenshot of what will be a typical meeting space into Teams with the capabilities we expect to come very soon in Microsoft Mesh for Teams. Sorry. So typically here we have some space very similar to what we have seen in SharePoint Spaces, plus the capabilities to have some people interacting. So definitely we see some avatar exactly similar to the avatar I have in my own session right now. So the first screenshot definitely, and that's an important point. The first screenshot show us many Teams room. In fact, so different way to meet your colleagues. But I am pretty sure that very quickly user will have more ideas than creating some rooms, some meeting rooms in Teams, in Mesh for Teams. So be sure that with the tools that will be given to us, we will be able to create some very interesting space there. So here we have more, I would say, an open space where people can meet and join and interact. The very important thing in this video is short video, is that you can see people coming in several groups, and like in the real life, people are going close to each other to speak, and they are leaving the group at some point. And it's very important. For me, it's a very important functionality that when you are coming to a group, you get the sound of the group, and when you are leaving the group, you lose the sound of the conversation. So this functionality is already implemented in Altspace VR. So I would, if you have not already seen that, I highly recommend that you join Altspace VR and you make the experience. We will have the after party of this event in Altspace VR, so it's a very good occasion to discover it or to go back to it if you have already seen that. But the experience of the real life, you go through a group, you heard the conversation, and you leave the group, you go to another group, you can hear another conversation. This is very close to the real experience, and it's very important for people to get the real touch. So definitely, if you have a great set of space like that, you should be able to put some avatar in it. So here you have some preview screenshot of the avatars that will be available and implemented in Teams. So we will definitely be able to have some meetings like this one with people in real, meeting people, avatar people. We can see that there are different type of avatar. Some are more close to the reality, some are very far from the reality. But definitely the end user will be able to choose the level of avatar you want to use. At the beginning, avatar can be seen as not very useful. I would say some people find it cool, but what is the real usage? One real very important usage about using avatar is that it creates a layer of interaction, or you can put a layer of interaction between you and the meeting you are participating. And for example, this screenshot gives us a very interesting usage, which is you can put a level of a layer of translation between you, your real you, and the avatar. So, for example, if you want to speak with a Korean guy, you can put a layer of translation of you speaking in English, for example, and your avatar speaking in Korean, which is probably not easy.
Patrick, sorry to interrupt. We're still looking at your first slide. I don't know if you've moved on.
Oh yes. You can't navigate to the 19th slide because
but I'm not sure. That won't sync.
You should have the option to sync. No,
I can sync. It goes to the home page. It's just going to the first slide.
But Chirag said he can see the slide 19.
Maybe it's just me.
Not sure. So if you can go to the 19th slide, I am on the 19th slide. But that's strange that you can't go to it, Sharon. Okay, so I wanted to make the second demo, but it's in real how to implement an avatar in Teams. So for this session, I am using a very simple avatar, which is in fact a very interesting tool, which is called Snap Camera. So it's basically the way to reproduce some Snapchat filter in the output of your camera, and you can use the output of these tools directly as the main camera for Teams. So that's a trick, but that's a very interesting trick to first have your own avatar, and it's very funny to see the reaction of people when you are not the real one. So I think it will be a very important point in the future to that people be used to see not real people but avatar in meetings. Another important aspect of avatar, and we have here some screenshot from the last build event. So that's a feature disclosed by Microsoft. Avatar will be able to express some feeling more than maybe or different from the real people. So here, for example, a very happy people or very surprised people. So with avatar, we should be able to give some impression of your deep feeling. Here we have some screenshot of the avatar builder. So we will be able to create up to 3 different avatar in Teams for the very first version. So maybe we can imagine a very business avatar, and maybe some more funny avatar for some event, for example, to participate to some event or for personal meetings. So you will be able to choose the avatar you want to use in a specific meeting. Of course, you will have many options to to wear your avatar with some hat or some glasses, some specific glasses or things like that. Third type of event or of capabilities you get from Microsoft, I already mentioned it, is Altspace VR. So Altspace VR is a product that Microsoft bought from an external company, and they are probably using the technology right now to add some capabilities into Teams, and Mesh for Teams will definitely be inspired by Altspace VR. So this is the typical avatar in Altspace VR. Definitely, you should try it if you have not done yet. But the capabilities that will be available in Teams will be a mix of probably the typical avatar we have already seen and the capabilities we have seen we can today access in Altspace VR. So let's go on the third part for slide 29. If you have a look on it, the usage. That's the main question. Okay, avatar and mesh and metaverse is very cool, but to do what? To do what? So the first type of usage is definitely and will definitely be around meetings, business meetings, presentation, and that's already a very cool topics, because as you know, people have done so many virtual meetings and virtual meetings during especially during the COVID period. Now they are a little bit tired with everything online. So if we can give some more opportunities to get some more interaction, more fun, and more interesting content to deliver interesting content with the new metaverse option, it will be great for a lot of people in the business space, definitely. Another great usage we can see on slide 31 is that we can have virtual meeting rooms. We can have virtual meetings there. The important thing here is that you can it can allow people not in the same space, obviously, in the same physical space to join. So it will help us to solve the big issue that people want more work, to be able to do more work at home, but at the same time, they want to get more interaction with their coworkers. So Metaverse will definitely be an option to help solve this big issue we have right now with the business people in any companies after COVID. So this type of, for example, a stand-up meeting every day in the morning in a virtual room can be a very quick and very easy way to put some connection in the team, and definitely not and people are definitely not obliged to be physically in the office if they can't or if they don't want to go for a 10 minutes stand-up meeting, for example. That's probably a better option to have it online than to make some long transportation and things like that. Another great screenshot here is that you can display, for example, Power BI and any graphics in a room, and it will be very interesting for people to to discuss and comment and share feeling about the latest result and the latest figures, for example. So I'm definitely sure that people in any companies will find very interesting and more advanced usage using the Metaverse. So we will start with very simple, as usual, I would say, with any new technology. We will start with very common and very easy to understand scenarios, but very quickly we will see more engaging scenarios or more original ones. To conclude, because we are almost on time, okay, I would summarize the technology choice with this slide. So 34 slide. Microsoft VR AR technology. So we have seen the 3.1 Altspace VR, which was bought a few years ago now. SharePoint Spaces, which is coming from the SharePoint space, of course, and Mesh for Teams, which will be probably the future of any metaverse technology from Microsoft in the business space. Both, so on the left, Altspace VR and Mesh for Teams are both based on Microsoft Mesh, which is not the case for SharePoint Spaces. But every technology at the end is using some Azure resources. So if you have one thing to remember is that Mesh for Teams will be the winner of the option we have right now. So definitely you should put any effort on one technology. You should understand what will come very soon in Mesh for Teams, and we are still waiting for some beta or access to the for the public to Mesh for Teams, but it will come very soon now. And here it is. So we have a few minutes. If you have some question or some remark, feel free to share. And you can rate the session using the QR code on the screen and things like that. Thank you very much for your attention.
I've popped the feedback link into the chat as well if anybody wants to click on.
Okay.
So we don't have anything outstanding questions-wise at the moment. I mean, I think everybody wants to know when, right? So when is all this coming? And
yeah,
do we have answers on that yet?
That's a great question, and we will have to be patient for that. But definitely, it has been announced a long time ago, so it should come.
Okay. Who knows?
I have no final I would say official Microsoft date for the introduction, but it has been announced several times, so it should come soon, very soon.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, your avatar looks great. I would love days when I can just my entire face on.
Thank you.
Looks really good. Okay, we don't have any sessions, but I'm sure Patrick is going to hang out in the chat for a little while for us. And also, Patrick, if you want to put your details of your LinkedIn profile and your Twitter profile in chat for us, then we can all link up with you afterwards. That would be great.
Yeah, sure.
And I know when these sessions go live on YouTube, the presenters will probably be mentioned underneath as well. So we have recorded the session. This will be live after the event. Thank you so much for attending. And like I say, we're going to be here until the next session, which will be on the hour. For me, that's at 11. Depends on where you are in the world as to when that's going to be. And we will be here in the background to answer any questions, and we look forward to the next session. I'll take over the screen, Patrick, but if you want to stay on chat, that would be really welcome.